Well, hello everyone. Oh, I got the notification. Hello everyone. I hope you all had a great weekend. So today we are just going to be discussing our wonderful fellowship program and our internship program as well here at Havas Health and You. And just to tell you a little bit about Samantha and I, we are both campus recruitment specialists running these programs. So let's just get started. So Samantha, if you can just go ahead and click next. Great. So here is just an overlook of our agenda today. So we'll just be starting off with who we are and then moving on to our fellowship program, how to apply, all that good stuff, our internship program as well, and then how to reach out to us if you are interested to apply. Okay, great. So Havas Health and You falls under many different branches. So if we look at the organizational structure, we have Vivendi, which is a huge, very out there France, Paris-based company that owns the Havas Group. Next. So here you can see Vivendi tears down to the Havas Group, which then is broken down into Havas Health and You, which is us, Havas Creative, and then Havas Media. Next. So here's a video that will kind of explain more, what I'm talking about here. Okay, that was a little bit of our video, just talking about how creative Vivendi is overall. So once again, we are part of one of the most creative content companies in the world. Now I'm just going to go ahead and pass it on to Samantha, who will be talking a little bit more about the Havas Group.
Hi, everyone. So happy that you guys are able to join us. So as you know, you saw that dramatic, amazing, highly edited video. That's the fun part of everything that has to do with our parent company, Vivendi. And so if you saw the organizational structure, it's Vivendi, Havas, and now we're at the Havas Group. So we're not just yet with our company that Armin and I primarily work with, but Havas Groups, we want you to kind of get a good basis of where we stand in terms of organizational structure. And so I'm going to kind of walk you a little bit through the Havas Group so that you understand, because Havas does from health and wellness to media to creative. And so I want you just to kind of get an overall arching idea of what we do and where we stand. And for you guys to understand how multifaceted company we are and how many great opportunities, we're able to offer you, given that we have literally from A to Z in our company. So without further ado, just a little bit of history. I'm not going to, delve into so much about us. We were established in 1835, and that's why we're called Havas. Our founder was Charles Louis Havas, and he was the founder of the first ever press agency, which is now Havas Group, which is actually one of the largest communication groups in the world. And we have over 19,000 employees in over 100 countries. So the Havas Group in and of itself is probably one of the biggest communication groups that you can think about. And we have a lot of big projects that probably you've encountered throughout your life and probably never even noticed that we were a part of it. So a shared mission across the Havas Group is that we believe in creating meaningful brands. And you'll see a lot of the kind of similar verbiage that we'll use throughout the presentation is a lot of meaningful, a lot of connection with you. I think that when you first logged in, you saw that says we are you. You'll get a lot of that kind of thing. We're very focused on our brand in terms of how we serve the community, which is everyone who's doing that, whether that is people who we work with, whether that are consumers, or whether that is you guys who are seeing this presentation. So a lot of that is focused on the meaningful brand idea. And because meaningful brands are better for business and better for the world we live in. And so we use the power of ideas, creativity, media, entertainment to drive growth and drive change, and just helping brands better engage with their communities through authentic messages, experience, helping businesses grow sustainably. And all of that is what creates the Havas Group. And so, as I said a little bit earlier, the Havas Group is kind of comprised into 3 business units: creative, media, and health care and wellness. Havas Health and You, which is the company that we're here to really delve into, is the one that is in the healthcare and wellness. However, we have positions that we offer that work for the creative side and for the media. And in our healthcare and wellness company, which is Havas Health and You, we also have the creative who kind of work on that, because a lot of the brands that we work with, and we'll explain some of the brands that we work with, there is opportunity for creative. There is opportunity for media, because a lot of what we do is marketing and advertising. So all of that still ties in together. But yeah, and this is just a little bit of like the specific entities kind of broken down a little bit. So I'm not going to really read too much about it, but our Havas Creative is kind of our global hub. And they just obviously specialize in a lot of like design, UX designing, marketing, PR, and all of that kind of really great graphics that you saw when we presented. Media, I would say, is very, very heavy on that PR side, and they manage a lot of that for us. And Havas Health and You, which is our company, we kind of lead a lot of projects in terms of whether that is, and we'll explain some of the brands we work with, but whether that is like the Pfizer vaccine, we lead a lot of campaigns on that end, which has, if there's anything healthcare, wellness, health attached to it, rare diseases attached to it, anything in the health world, that's run through our company. And we work, I would say, as a symbiotic relationship with the Havas Creative and Media, because all of us work together and we're able to produce well together. So that's kind of how we tie everything into what we are. And so Havas Health and You focuses on the betterment of humanity through health by leveraging global collection of experts and individuals, using the scope and the powerlessness to drive our mission, our human purpose. We help brands and organizations positively impact patient lives. And in doing so, we create work that connects with audiences on a deep and personal level. So when we write, so with over 4,500 leading experts in over 60 countries, and why we say that is because we actually have a lot of MDs, PharmDs who work with us. They're the ones that kind of help us behind, the scenes of a lot of the campaign launches that we do. Sorry, forgive me. I was out for last week and I'm stuttering through my words, but we have a lot of doctors who kind of help us with the marketing aspect of those things. So we work in conjunction with, scientists, copywriters, people in the media, and all of that, I think, is what makes Havas Health and You special. And why, it's one of our focus. Obviously we do marketing and advertising, and there seems to kind of be this sort of idea that perhaps we might be, it could be the glamorous side of like advertising and marketing, right? But for us specifically, because we focus on topics that are very important and we cannot mislead the public, and because we have to be, you know, true on the message that we're delivering, we work with a lot of people that have some sort of affinity or background in science, which is why we're speaking to you guys, because you guys have some sort of public health backbone. And so we have a lot of people from all walks of life kind of work with us. And so, yeah. And so our mission is to be the world's best company at creating meaningful connections, using creativity, media, and innovation to inspire healthier lives. And so, sorry, I can see myself right here. One of the things that I mentioned is we talk a lot about human purpose, and that's one of our main driving forces in our company. And so, and that's something that, you know, if you join us, we have a lot of focus on us, you know, the employees, but also the people that we serve. And that's something that we always think about, whether that is our branding strategy, whether that is how we talk, whether that is everything that we do is about thinking, how does this impact the greater being and everyone around us? And so that's a bit about us. And we showed you guys a video about Vivendi, but we wanted to show you guys a video about what Havas Health and You, our company specifically, does. And so that you can see the blend of media, creative, and using the scientists to all help us and how that combines. So we want to show you a clip of some of the work that we've been doing. And I think it's an awesome clip to just encapsulate how meaningful our work is. And so without further ado, I will show it to you guys.
If recent cultural movement has taught us anything, it is that now, more than ever, we are responsible for not only our lives, but the lives of each other. And that a sense of togetherness is key to our happiness and our survival as a human species. Change starts with conversation. Change happens when we shift from me to we. Change is realized when we accept our responsibility and act by committing to our values. We will thrive in unity. The wonder of science and innovation is part of every human story, in our network and beyond. We have unbelievable stories to share, helping each other, our communities, and people feel better about life and living. We believe health is powerful. We build brands that inspire us to feel better.
It wasn't about the product anymore. It was about what the product does and how it impacts our lives.
This is the human purpose we instill in every brand we help create.
We're interpreters. We are translators of an amazing creative product.
Human purpose is about helping each other thrive, allowing us to feel connected and our voices heard.
We acknowledge you. We recognize what you're doing.
Oh my God, that is a human truth that does unite us. And there's something so simple about it, but yet something so profound.
I don't know why, but I always get so emotional hearing this video. It's probably the ending of the music. But anyways, and so I think Armina's gonna delve a little bit about sort of the smaller entities, because Havas Group, and then it's Havas Health and You, and now these are our smaller other subsidiaries who kind of focus on specific brands and all of that. So without further ado, Armina will expand more about that.
Yep, just like Samantha said, here is Havas Health and You at a glance, which does break down into 15 agencies with different focuses. So in those 15 agencies, we have our fellows specifically, as well as our full-time employees working in those specific teams and those specific brands. So, I mean, over the years, we've had like people work at Arnold, for example, Havas Life New York, Symbiotics, just to name a few. With my time here, I've seen a lot of our fellows being placed there. And then once again, they work on these specific brands. So PR, innovation, media, strategy consulting, branding and design, and so much more, as you can see here. Next. Yep, so we offer best-in-class communication services, which are all centered on health and wellness. So here's just to name all of them, but I'll just name a few really quickly. So analytics, digital, MCM, CRM, media, branding and design, production, PR, public health, which is definitely something that might interest you all. Next. Right, so here is our client roster just at a glance. We work with many reputable brands. Many of you have probably heard of like Pfizer. We helped Pfizer, just like Samantha had mentioned earlier, roll out the vaccine. I'm sure you've heard of Toshiba. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Aetna is some of our partners, and then health and wellness. We have all of those here as well. Then, yep, so we are a global network. Samantha had talked about how many employees we have, so it does truly feel like a family. Every day when I go to work, it truly feels like everyone's there to help, just because there are a lot of us. So we have 5,000 plus employees in over 200 plus offices, 100 plus cities, and 60 plus countries. We truly are a global network. Okay, so here are the Havas Health and You commitments. We do want to make a good experience for our employees. So here, as you can see, entry-level hiring, such as our fellowship program, and then our internship that we have, so our summer internship program. We also have a learning and development side to both of our programs, and that is with the management development. We also have talent assessments. So we have like an employee survey where, we considered flex work, where we asked our employees for feedback as well. Next. Yep, so here is just the future of work at Havas Health and You, and like what we currently have, which does reflect a blend of 3 days in person and 2 days from home. So that is our hybrid model currently. But yeah, and that also includes the fellows and interns as well. They're all included in our hybrid work model. Okay, now Samantha is just going to go ahead and explain more about our lovely fellowship program.
So our fellowship program is a year-long program, and we are specifically looking for either recent college graduates and or master's students, which I believe most of you guys are. I do know that as of now, we also do take some PhD students, but right now it's a bit of a TBD as we're just figuring out kind of what we want to branch out. That is an opportunity, and that's something that you can definitely connect with Armin and I if that's something that's of interest to you. But I would say right now, we're looking for someone who can commit to the 1-year program. And we're looking for hours within the 9 to 5 time. And why we do a 9 to 5, why it's a year-long program, it's because it's designed to kind of give you that entry-level opportunity, but also heavy emphasis on learning and development. And so what that actually means is, you oftentimes probably hear a lot of fellowships, internships out there that just say, here, come work with us. And what makes us different is that apart from giving you that experience, we also, part of our program is developed in such a way that we also give you the opportunity to grow and learn. So we give fellows the opportunity to join specific classes that they're interested in. So for example, if you are a PR fellow per se, you can join like a creative 101 class that teaches you a little bit about how a lot of these creative do like UX designing a lot. They also have like a copywriting class. Maybe you want to strengthen a lot of like your writing skills because that's important for PR. I know that they have like Excel courses that kind of targets people who care about PM, finance, to target all those kind of things. So there's many multiple different layers that is given for fellows to participate in and kind of what speaks to them. And we leave that open for you guys to kind of determine what's best suited for you and what you want to learn. But those are opportunities that are offered only for fellows. Another thing that we've implemented most recently is that we have a specifically tailored onboarding experience for fellows only. And so that's typically a 2-week kind of ordeal where, once and I will speak about start dates, I will speak about what position we have offered, but I'm just giving you guys a little bit of a backbone. But once you guys are onboarded, and we're right now targeting for a June start date for this cohort, we have 2 weeks that's only set up for all of our fellows to get to know everyone who is a participant of the fellowship program, to get to meet the players of the program, meaning like Armin and I, our HR program manager, and just the broader team who takes care of the fellows and are kind of their point of contacts throughout that 1-year thing, and also introduce them to multiple leaders upon or across the agency. And why we do that is because we believe that we want to give you guys just a truly very verse and heavy, dense, onboarding experience so that you guys understand the company, understand what your responsibilities are able to ask all those questions, and also form partnerships with other participating fellows as well. Because again, a lot of an emphasis has been about family and feeling like we're connected to something. And that's something that we strive for, making you guys feel like there are other fellows that you guys can reach out to. And that makes it part of the fellowship program. And so on that note, so like I said, the fellows will have the opportunity to work with some of the most innovative thinkers in the health and wellness space. So like I said, learning and development aspect, but also the opportunity to have that experience to work with top performing people in that industry. Something that makes, our program very competitive and appealing to most of our fellows who are currently now in the process of graduating is that we usually hope to ask many fellows to stay with us. And that's completely contingent upon your performance throughout the program. And so towards the end of the 1-year commitment, we review a lot of the work that you've done with your manager. And I would say we have a very high success rate of how many fellows we've actually offered full-time promotions towards the end of the program. And so, yeah. Let's see. And so I'm sure you guys are kind of curious, like, what do we specifically offer in the fellowship? What roles we have? So I will answer that. And I also included a little bit of a blurb that kind of gives you an idea of what those positions really entail. So we primarily recruit for account, creative, finance, HR, PM, and there's more. PR, editorial, strategy, research management, and growth submissions, and medical fellow, which is mostly for people within like the PhD track, which, it's a bit of a TBD, but again, it's an opportunity and it's on the table. We will just have to kind of reloop with you guys when we take a Q&A if you guys are interested in learning a little bit more about the medical fellow position. But I'm going to quickly cover just synopsis of what each position entails, because I'm sure, and we'll have an opportunity for you guys to ask us a little bit more what the position does towards Q&A, but I'm just going to give you a brief synopsis. So our account fellow, I would say someone with a personality who loves to speak, is very, very good at answering questions, connecting the dots. They're the person who handles our relationship with the company and the people that we're working with on a different brand. So for example, they're our point of contact if Pfizer's trying to connect Havas Health and You, right? And they manage all of that side of account. So that is someone who loves to be on the front lines, loves to be a problem solver. People with great customer serving skills, those are people who are in account. Creative, it's pretty self-explanatory. We have copy, art, digital. So someone perhaps in your program who has that interest in writing and kind of wants to, have a little bit of what do you call it? Like pivot in their career where they kind of want to be heavy on the sciences, but add a little creative flair to it. Copy might be something that might be of interest to you. And I've seen great success of people with a public health background who's resorted into doing copywriting. Finance fellow, pretty self-explanatory. They'll be working a lot with just our network and all of billing and, you know, all of that nitty-gritty stuff that helps our company run. Our HR fellow, pretty also self-explanatory. They're the ones who are our oil machine that helps our company run and are there to serve, you know, our employees who work there. So that's that. PM, we've had a lot of people who also do public health. We're also interested in PM. And PM is just, I would say, a person who is very good at delegating tasks, or very good at being on top of, you know, the deliverables that need to be done. I would say they're the ones that make sure that everyone across the entire team are delivering what they need to do in order to move forward with a project. PR, I also say pretty self-explanatory, a lot of heavy writing to it. People who are interested in like sort of like the media and kind of how we are, you know, depicted, you know, on a global scale. So they're the ones that kind of do that. Editorial, strategy, same kind of thing. Strategy, I would say, is a little bit more, how do we, they're the people who research kind of where we are in terms of our competition with other companies. And so they're the ones that kind of go out there and they realize what is out there. What can we do that's innovative? What can we do that's different, right? And so they're the ones that kind of research, see what's out there, so that when we are offering our services to our clients, we know that that is what's everyone else is either doing, but we do a modification version of it and we do it even better. So they're the ones that make sure that we're on top of everything that is currently, you know, the hot thing to do. And our resource management fellow is very similar to HR. They just kind of focus more on like the heavy sort of where do we need resources in the company. They're the ones that kind of audit where we have some employment gaps, and they kind of help make sure that every single department has what they need in order to be successful. Growth fellow, I would say, is kind of hand in hand with strategy and planning. Our submission fellow is something that I also think can be very applicable to the people in this program. They're the ones who we actually have quite a few. If there was any position that I've said to you, it'd be submission and PM, who have been, you know, we've had a lot of people with public health backgrounds too. Submission is very important because they're the ones who kind of help us edit what, you know, research we've done, whether that is a marketing campaign. They're the ones that read everything and make sure that it is FDA approved, that we are not misleading the public, that it is up to date scientifically, you know, to the T. And they're the ones who are very highly into detail writing. And so, yeah, that's a little bit of the positions that we are recruiting for and that are offered for our June cohort. And so how to apply and some of our recruitment dates. So we, like I said, we're currently looking for recent college and or master's students, and they're interested in joining our June fellowship class. If June doesn't work for you, we also have one starting in September. And so I know that there might be, I believe I'm speaking to mostly master's students. So, you know, if whatever date works best for you, you know, those are possibilities. I also wanted to note that where you can apply, you don't have to reach out to us. You can apply by going to our Havas Health and Your career page and just search fellowship. That fellowship gives you the opportunity to select which date works best for you. So if June works best for you, you can select that in September. In the application, you'll also have the opportunity to rank which position you are mostly interested in. We like to make sure that we give, you know, or make you select top 3, because sometimes we cannot match you with your number 1, but we try to still match you with, you know, at least your second choice. And you'll have a summary of, again, of kind of what I presented, a little bit more deeper of what those positions do. And so you're able to just denote that in your application. And so Armin is going to talk a little bit about our internship program.
Great. Thank you, Samantha. So we also have a summer internship program, and it is an 8-week internship program starting mid-June and then runs through August. So let's say, you aren't graduating this year and you can't apply to our fellowship, then you can definitely apply to our internship program, which is ultimately like a gateway to our fellowship program. So our goal is to have our interns join our fellowship program once they graduate. And then the roles are pretty much similar to the fellowship, so you can refer to that when you apply as well. Next. Yep, so our internship is designed to offer students the opportunity to learn about a career in healthcare advertising. So as an intern, you'll basically have the opportunity to learn the daily tasks that, make a healthcare advertising agency run smoothly. And then a key part of this role is participating in teams. I know in our previous internship, we had people in teams create a full campaign, and then that was presented to their supervisor at the end of the program. And then they'll also have the chance to be exposed to all the various daily client work, the events, and then also that learning and development side. We have that here too, where you are able to speak with guest speakers, go to those events. We've also hosted resume and cover letter workshops in the past, practice mock interviews as well, because we want you to be like a well-rounded individual at the end of it. So that's just a little overview of our summer internship program, and we would just love for those of you who haven't graduated yet or aren't soon to graduate to take this opportunity and apply. Next. Okay, so here once again is the contact information. Oh, sorry. Yeah, well, the application for the summer internship. Wait, can you go back, Samantha? Sorry, I thought it was on the next page. Okay, yeah. So to apply, it's right down there. So instead of putting fellowship, you would just put search for a summer internship instead. Okay, next. All right, and then here is our contact information. If you have any questions, please just feel free to contact us if you want to take a picture of this email or take this down somewhere, and then connect with us on LinkedIn as well. Next. Okay, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask right now.
Hi, I was wondering about the strategy fellow. Is that more akin to like a creative director type position?
Can you repeat your question, please?
Oh,
I know
hi.
you said, yes.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Joseph.
Hi.
So yeah, I was looking at the strategy fellow. Is that more akin to like a creative director type position?
No.
No?
I would say a strategy fellow is someone who wants to work with our research teams. Like I said, they're the ones who make sure that we're on top of what's trending in terms of other competitors and what we offer our clients.
Yeah.
If you're interested in more, are you asking because you're interested in like a creative route?
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually a video editor and I've done like commercials for McCann and whatnot and Publicis.
Perfect.
But
So
I'm doing this on the side as a part-time, but I'm interested in,
yeah.
So
what would work with something that kind of what you've done would be a creative, we have the creative fellowship and we have copy, art, and digital. So those are things that you're able to apply, and those are a lot more what you were talking about. They work with our HPS studio. So that's our Havas production studio, and they're the ones that kind of do all of that. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Great.
Yep. Great question.
Anyone else?
I also am thinking there was something that we want to add. Our fellowship position is salaried, and I think that we didn't cover that. It is salaried, it's fully paid. That's why we really hope that you guys can commit to a one-year thing. I would say our compensation varies depending on your education background. So if you're a master's student, that is different from someone who recently graduated. And if you're interested in like the medical fellowship thing, that is different, obviously a different rate if you're coming from a PhD background. So I wanted to make sure that you guys know that we are not offering, free labor. And so, we definitely pay for that. And all of our fellows are offered, they're fully considered FTE employees, and they have PTO days, they have everything that our full-time employees do come with. So that's with the understanding that we want to keep them for the next year. So we obviously want to get them already used to how we work as a company.
I have a question for the fellowship. You mentioned it's like recent graduates. So obviously if someone was graduating in May, like the June cohort would work great. But what about someone who graduated in 2021? Like how recent does the graduation date have to be?
I would say as long as you're able to commit to the 9 to 5, we're pretty much open to that. We're not, looking for someone who graduated 2022. It's just, did you graduate college per se? And do you have the time to commit to a 9 to 5 for a year and possibly more? Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, there's a question here. Just wanted to know how competitive is the internship for summer? How many interns your company is looking to get hired for summer? Yeah, so right now we are looking at roughly 25 to 35 interns. So I would say that yes, it is a little more competitive.
And I would say our internship program is a gateway to our fellowship program. A lot of our interns end up being our fellows. It's a great way, you've already made the connections. You already work with the same sort of internal team, which would be us. And so we've had a lot of success with our interns be fellows and now they're full-time employees. So just know that, if perhaps the summer internship is something that you're interested in and you cannot commit to that 9 to 5, but you can commit to a summer, perhaps because you're off from classes, that's a great opportunity for you to have. And also in that internship, you're able to learn which position you want to do as a fellow too, because you will be exposed to all of the different things that we do, because you're not fully, committing to something versus a fellowship, you'll be working a lot more intensive with that. So if that's something that you're interested in, I definitely recommend for you guys to consider the internship program.
And then the other question is the internship part-time, full-time? Yeah, so the internship is also going to be 9 to 5, but it will be during the summer. So it's like if you don't have classes, I would recommend that for you. Is the medical fellowship on-site or remote? So we work on a hybrid model. So that is the same for all of our employees, which is 3 days in the office and 2 days remote. Yeah, that's about it. That's the questions I had.
Can you pick the days you want to be remote, or is it like in the middle, it's like in person, and then Monday, Friday is remote? Is that the idea?
That's usually depends on your team. I think every single team has their own meet dates. So whatever works best with your team, that is usually kind of how they designate which days, because the way that we want to do it is we don't want to have the entire office in one day. So a lot of, teams designate Wednesdays for us. So you definitely know Wednesday will be the day that you come in. And then perhaps, and I think that's subject to whatever your manager kind of goes, and we leave that up to there. But as long as you commit to coming to the office 3 days and then 2 days, at home, that's kind of how we do it. We're also located in 200 Madison, which is Midtown East. So it's a pretty good commute. I would say it's pretty central. You have everything that you need. I think you can even take the train to 34th Street and then walk a couple of blocks down, and we're pretty well centered, and yeah.
Okay, I think that's all the questions.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Armin and Samantha, for your time and for the excellent presentation. We really appreciate it. Like I said, we did record this. I'm going to go ahead and share it with other students and just emphasize to reach out to that fellows email with any questions that they might have when they view the video as well.
Great.
Yep. We truly encourage you guys, if you guys are interested in it, please apply. Our applications are live, and you're able to, like I said, denote which cohort would work best for you, which position you would prefer. You'd able to rank that. We, are still in the process of doing a lot of campus recruitment events. So we will probably start interviewing people around April for that June cohort class. So if right now, you're looking into, next steps, know that the first step that you guys should do is apply if this is something that, is important to you guys and want to pursue. So, and like Armin said, you can go to Havas Health and You, go to our career page, just look up fellowship. It should say fellowship program 2022. That's the one. And internship, I believe, just should say summer internship. And those will be your two primary points to go to. Now, if you have, any questions, or perhaps, you want to learn a little bit more, that email that will be sent to you guys is definitely the best way to contact us as well. And just so that you guys know, if you guys want a little bit more context, I'm the creative recruiter. And so if there are any positions that perhaps, speak to you on that creative side, I'm the main point of contact. So when you email that email, if you want to say, hi, Samantha, note that it is directed, because it's an email that Armin and I can both access. So that's a good way for us to kind of be able to denote who you want to reach out to. Armin is kind of in charge of that non-creative side. So anything that doesn't fall on the creative side, she would be the best person for you to contact. Yep.
Great.
And yep, I'll let you take it over.
Yeah. So with that, with that said, just thank you both again so much. And we're all done. So I hope everyone has a great rest of your afternoon. And if anyone has, needs any help with the application, getting your resume looked over, or just talking through what might be fellow positions that you'd like to apply to, you can feel free to reach out to me at Career Services. I'm happy to help get your application in as soon as possible. All right, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.